Ah, the knight errant himself. Oh, have you been watching from the gallery, Mr. Sholmes? I've been on the edge of my seat the entire time. Courtroom trials are fascinating affairs, as a spectator at least. I'm glad you've been enjoying yourself. Ah, Albert. I have to ask. What on earth is going on? It makes no sense. What's this professor business all about? He doesn't look like any professor I've ever met before. Who even is he? Ah, of course. You were in Germany already 10 years ago. Yes, the professor. When I discovered he was the one who had been abducted, a sense of foreboding stirred within me. But who knew the monster would come knocking at your door? My heartfelt sympathies. Oh my gosh. Alright, we've got an accomplice to blame. Hey guys, welcome back. Light here. And, we've started the trial. And we managed to call, what's his face? Drebber to the stand. Why are we talking about accomplice again? Hold on. Oh yeah, that someone had to be involved for him to be able to carry out the plan. Oh yeah, and my theory was it was, what's his face? What's his name? Sorry, not what's his face, what's his name? Loon, that's right. My theory is that it's Loon, so let's see if we're right. Do you intend to pursue this course and formally accuse another party of involvement in this matter? What do I do here? At the moment, this is a little more than a hunch on my part. I don't know for sure if Drebber had an accomplice, or even if he really is the culprit here. He's a culprit. He's a culprit. It's for sure. One way or another, though, I have to make my position clear, as a lawyer. So what's my stance going to be? Did Drebber have an accomplice, or not? Oh. Well, if he named an accomplice... Wait, not if he said there was an accomplice, I'm gonna go with what he said. We back down. That just ruins everything. No, we're gonna name the accomplice. The defense is ready to name Mr. Drebber's accomplice. Somehow the two bird cages must have been switched. Everything points to that. Yet according to the coroner's report, that's not a possibility. But that inconsistency itself is a clue. Counsel. My lord. You have received a stark warning already. If you are nevertheless determined, then I must now ask you to identify this alleged accomplice by name. So, your answer, please. Who do you claim to have been Mr. Drebber's accomplice? Well, it can't have been him. They've already said, right? Should I try Loon? Oh boy. I'm gonna try it. I could be wrong. It's fine.
Take that!
Yeah, I'm wrong. I can already tell I'm wrong. Oh, I'm not. Who is this person? Wait, am I wrong? What basis do you claim fell in this involvement? You surely wouldn't say you don't know, would you? What? Okay, I was wrong. Slipped and pointed to the wrong person. There's no other explanation. Okay. No slip-ups this time, counsel. Who do you claim to have been Mr. Drebber's accomplice? But they're saying it can't have been... Whatever.
Take that!
Or not. Alright, hold on. Wait. The sole reason we have that says that they couldn't have been switched is because of her. She made the report. But what if she falsified her report about the fingerprints? Right? With her help, it can make things so much easier for him. Because, like, who else could it be? There's no one else it could be. Let's try.
Take that!
The name of the person in question is... What's wrong, my Nipponese friend? Good, it seems we're right. Surely fear doesn't bind your tongue now. It's a little late for that. Of course I'm afraid. After all, naming her in this capacity is definitely going to make waves. A lot of waves. I could very well turn every single person in this courtroom against me. I'm sure it'll be alright, Mr. Naruhodo. Thank you, Mrs. Otto. The enemy always appears larger than life, but you'll appear exactly the same to the enemy. Alright then, here goes. You've kept us waiting long enough. Your answer, counsel, now. Dang. Hold your horses. Can't we have a dramatic pause like you always do? The person who colluded with Mr. Drebber in order to carry out this wicked crime is Scotland Yard's coroner, Dr. Courtney Scythe. I still don't know how to say it. What the blazes are you talking about? Dr. Scythe? The head of the forensic investigation team and the coroner who conducted the autopsy on the victim. Hey, you were the one who encouraged us to speak, and we did. We know there were 2 bird cages, so who could have carried out the switch to complete the illusion? The accident happened in front of a huge crowd of spectators, and the area was immediately sealed off. And everyone, police officers included, were banished to make way for the forensic investigation team. When else could the switch have occurred? It could only have been in that team's presence. Oh, got you now. It's essential that the court determines exactly what happened following the incident. The defense demands that Dr. Scythe be summoned to the witness stand at once to testify. Dang. Oh boy. I didn't expect that kind of a turn. You've got a nerve, lad. Standing up there, dragging the yard's name through the mud. I didn't mean to. I know the woman very well. There's no better dead room worker out there. How dare you call her a criminal? Dang. My learned friend's imagination appears to be wilder than the East End at night. Oh, dang. But the recklessness of your accusation aside, there's another grave problem with your argument. One which the prosecution demands you address at once. A grave problem? Oh my word. Who do you claim acted as the victim's doppelganger? What? Certainly if the bird cage containing the body of the victim was exchanged for another, that cage must also have contained a body. And yet, no missing persons or accidental deaths of anyone even remotely resembling the victim have been reported. Which means there was no one, dead or alive, who could have fulfilled the role of a body double for Mr. Assman. I mean, sir, we've got this. Obviously you don't know we got this, but we got this. Ugh, that's true. If my argument is that there were 2 bird cages, then there must also have been 1 person inside each. But I don't know if I've got an answer to this yet, have I? What can I do to reveal how this body double stunt was achieved? Not name someone. Present evidence, right? Hold on. Time to save again. It's gotta be present evidence, right? For the waxwork. But we don't have the full body. What does this say? I'm gonna go with present evidence. Hold on. Let's just see. Very well. The defense will address my learned friend's concerns by presenting evidence that reveals the true nature of Mr. Assman's body double. Good gracious! Evidence? I do hope this isn't filibustering, counsel. The court is expecting a name. If you think you have relevant evidence, present it now. The body double and the birdcage were hiding inside the balloon that was floating above the stage, which means that any witnesses would have only seen them from 60 feet away. So who was it that appeared out of that explosion some 18 meters above the spectators? Aha! The body double inside the second birdcage was... Bam!
Take that!
You know that the victim, Mr. Assman, was in the birdcage that was situated inside the kinesis machine on stage. And therefore, he couldn't have been inside the second birdcage. Instead, that contained something else. What's been described as a body double, which is what fell from the sky and crashed into the crystal tower. Yes, Counsel, according to your somewhat elaborate version of events. And that body double inside the second birdcage was, in fact... It's alright, Mr. Naruhodo. You're ready for this. Just steel yourself and come out with it. Thank you, Mrs. Otto. I needed that. No. As I was saying, the body double inside the second birdcage was... as unbelievable as it may seem, that thing over there. Oh boy.
Objection!
Go away. Open your eyes and look into mine, my Nipponese friend. No, that's too weird. Now tell me, what are you playing at? Stand firm now, Ryunosuke. This is the time to show your Japanese spirit. As the court will observe, this is a waxwork model. A model, in fact, of an infamous London murderer from 10 years ago, the Professor.
Objection!
He started by indicting the leader of the forensic investigation team as an accomplice in this crime. And now you've moved on to indicting waxworks. Yes, that's about the size of it. But why? And why this waxwork? It looks nothing like the victim. In fact, it could hardly resemble him less. What possible justification can you give? If you want to know why, ask Mr. Drebber. Ooh. What? Just days before Professor Harebrain performed his public demonstration, Mr. Drebber abducted this model from Madame Tuspel's. Did you say abducted? And 2 days after the incident at the Great Exhibition, he returned it to the museum. Then the timing. Is this true, Mr. Drebber? At first, I couldn't see why Mr. Drebber would have stolen the waxwork and then give it back again. But now the reason is clear. Yay! He took it so that he could put it inside the second birdcage as a body double for Mr. Assman. Good. Does not compute. Are you hearing this, ladies and gentlemen of the jury? Are you hearing the defense's astonishing proposal? That the witness fabricated this vast machine with the intention of deceiving some wretched scientist. That he did so in collusion with the country's finest coroner, on a public stage in front of a vast audience. Ah, he's so annoying. And that, to effect the deception, he used a waxwork model that in no way resembles the victim. Are we really to believe this far-fetched tale? What do you decide?
Objection!
Hate him. Wait! Yes, if you put it like that, of course it sounds implausible. My lord! No! I need to speak, if you please. Go ahead, Mr. Foreman. Myself and my colleagues have reached an agreement. Oh boy. Very good. In that case, ladies and gentlemen of the jury, you will state your leanings for the court to hear now.
Guilty!
Uh-huh.
Guilty!
Saw this coming.
Guilty! Guilty!
You know what time it is? Summation examination time. Up, 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 up. So, as indicated by the foreman, the jury has reached a consensus. I knew that was going to happen. We shall get through this, Mr. Naruhodo, as we always do. And uncover some new truths along the way, I'm quite sure. Yes, I agree. I'm going to have to appeal to the jurors as usual, and see if I can persuade them to change their minds. The defense will now embark on a summation examination. Are you and your fellows ready to proceed, Mr. Foreman? We are, my lord. Very well. In that case, I ask you now to state clearly for all present to hear the grounds on which each of you has decided that the defendant is guilty of the crime of which he is charged. No, boy, this is gonna be fun. Oh boy. I've known that woman for years. She'd never be an accomplice to anything. It's utter nonsense to think those two would ever be conniving with one another. Oh dear, this is most troubling. But surely the waxwork the man stole has nothing to do with the coroner, is it? I have had my own problems with members of the police. I do not trust them much. I've seen no rigorous proof that this waxwork was ever inside the birdcage. It's conjecture. Accusing someone without right evidence says he's not a proper job, is he? I won't have it. Do you even know what you're talking about, kid? Somewhat unsurprisingly, it seems the introduction of this waxwork model to the proceedings has polarized opinion. Given that its face is obscured and its build in no way resembles that of the victim, I can only applaud my learned friend's temerity at suggesting it as Mr. Assman's body double. Yes, the applause is deafening, and yes, I know it seems extraordinary. But that's the point. That's why I have a strong feeling it's actually a greater clue than anyone yet realizes. What are you thinking, Mr. Naruhodo? I can't explain why at the moment, but I feel as though there's a specific reason why it was used, why it had to be this model. Really? A reason why nothing else would do, you mean? Yes, and I'm convinced it's something far more significant than whether or not the model looked like the victim. Well, if that's the case, we must prevent the trial from ending prematurely at all costs. Yes, agreed. I have to find a way out of this. Here we go. If you are ready, counsel, you may proceed with the summation examination. Yes, my lord. Oh boy. Commence the music. Yeah. Okay. Let's see. I guess I will press. The order of things seems to have changed around here for some reason. I'm a copper, lad. It's a copper's discretion to bend the rules sometimes when needs must. What's wrong with that? Where do I start? Been working at the yard for 40-odd years. That's even more than I thought. We've only had a metropolitan police service in town for 70 years, you know. Of course, times have changed. The public didn't trust coppers back when I started. It was rough. We had to fight crime, and we had to fight to win the public's trust as well. And when we did. Forensic science was in its infancy too, even more than it is now. And she spearheaded the revolution. Dr. Scythe, you mean? That's right. About 10 years ago now it was, when I was still a youngish Bobby on the beat. That's when she started making a name for herself as a top-class coroner. And now look at her. Head of the forensic investigation team and a woman, no less. Well, you won't hear me complain. It's what we all dreamt of back then, I tell you. Could you tell me without holding that gun in the air? We were all out to uphold justice, lad. Full of vim we were, full of vim. That's coming across loud and clear. Okay.
Hold it!
But we're only just starting to understand this case. Could you put the newspaper down, sir? So rude. What are you reading there, sir? The man behind those murders in Solar Pond Street was caught in 2 days flat. That's real policing for you. That's really not relevant to this case, is it? You're wrong there. Because it was Dr. Scythe in charge of examining the bodies. And there was evidence arising from her work that led to the arrest of the scoundrel responsible. Oh. That's right. Oh, that woman is at the forefront of this country's fight against crime. The idea that she's somehow involved in this murky business is a load of old tosh. Whoops. I thought it was up to me to press the jurors, not the other way around. That's funny.
Hold it!
Why would you assume that? Well, quite simply because that unsettling swindler has no relationship with the woman, does he? True, as it stands. You don't know of any connection. Oh gosh, but it would be delightfully romantic if they were somehow to have a mutual interest in the waxwork. Romantic? What? A woman of society such as myself views everything in terms of relationships, you know? Well, you learn something new every day, even if you don't want to. Oh man. One might wonder about a possible relationship between the defendant and his coroner woman. Or perhaps between the defendant and the handsome prosecutor just there. This woman may be more astute than I've been giving her credit for. If that's the woman's stance, then perhaps demonstrating some connection between the waxwork and Dr. Scythe would be enough. Yes, I agree. As soon as we have even a whiff of a connection, she'll be the first to know. Alright, so that's what we gotta do. Let's see.
Hold it!
What sort of problems? Let's just say we have run into each other on numerous occasions while I've been performing on the street. Right, I see. Obviously, artists such as myself cannot appear on stage as we work in close proximity to our audiences. So we perform our great magic in parks, on street corners and the like. The police use any excuse to make our lives difficult. Oh. Of course he has something to say. Do you have something to say in response to that, Mr. Ottermole? Who are you calling a mass murderer? Sorry, my mistake. I got confused because I heard you look like him. I don't look anything like the man. You want to be locked up, Sonny? Thanks, Mr. Sholmes. Perhaps we could move on. I was really wondering if you had something you wanted to add in response to what juror number 3 just said. And clearly you do. Back in my day, back in the good old days, it wasn't like this. Hey, that's Gregson's theme. You can't be using Gregson's theme. What was it like, sir? We worked our fingers to the bone to earn the public's trust, we did. And by Jove, we earned it. People respected us back then. Respected you? No one would have called a coroner into question in them days. Coroner's report was the hallmark of an investigation done right. Especially when Dr. Courtney Stevens put her name to it. She was the best of the best, and the apple of the fourth eye. Hold on a minute. What are you talking about? Who's Courtney Stevens? Hold on. Hold on. Where is it? This thing. Excuse me. Oh, I need to know more. I need to know more right now. Ah, sorry. Got a bit carried away there. Stevens is Dr. Scythe's maiden name. Oh, she was involved in the professor case too. Of course she was. Her maiden name. So that was before she was married. Of course, yes. Silly me. It's Scythe now, isn't it? Stevens. I'm sure I've seen that name somewhere recently. Anyway, point is, those were the great days of policing, not like now. Sorry to interrupt, sir. But do you think you could change your statement to include that name? Oh yes, I don't see why not. She was Courtney Stevens back when I knew her, of course, a legendary coroner even then. Do I press or do I pit? Hold on. Who was it? I hate that he's first. It's throwing me off. Oh shoot. I did not mean to continue all the way. I told you it's throwing me off that he's at the front. I know it seems a little far-fetched to think that the waxwork model of the professor was in that birdcage. On the other hand, it explains a lot. If there really is a reason why that particular waxwork had to be used as Mr. Asman's stubble, we must do everything we can to make sure the jurors understand it. Truth is, I'm sure that's the key to this, but it's the most puzzling part of it too. In that case, you should see what additional information you can glean while it's trying to change the jurors' minds. If you can read a book while it's eating a rice cracker, Mr. Naruto, I'm sure you can do this. Right. Yes. Should I press this?
Hold it!
She was legendary, was she? What did you say? Ugh. That woman is still the best coroner in the land. Head of the forensic investigation team. This guy, he's quite the fan. Legendary was your description, sir. Not mine. Rubbish! That word never passed my lips. I never describe anybody that way, ever. Not if they were still in the game. But you just did! What? I think the point you're trying to make is that Dr. Sai is an extremely talented coroner. Would that be fair? It would! If it weren't for the fact that you're trying to drag that legendary woman's reputation through the mud. I'm going to pretend I didn't hear that legendary. Oh, man. Okay. Whoops. Wrong button. Let's try this.
Objection!
Yay! Those two statements clearly contradict each other. Good gracious! To whose statements do you refer, counsel? So, juror number 2. Oh gosh, me? What can I do for you? I presume that you heard what juror number 6 said in his statement. It's brought to light the maiden name of the coroner, Dr. Scythe, which in turn has revealed a connection that wasn't apparent before. Well, naturally, as a woman of society, I find such connections and relationships irresistible. But oh golly, I'm afraid I fail to see what you mean. Dr. Sai's maiden name is Stevens, and through that name, the coroner is very definitely linked to the waxwork of the killer. The defense has evidence to prove it. Yeah. My goodness, evidence, you say? How utterly enthralling. Counsel, the court cannot overlook that last remark. I very much hope there is substance to your claim. Of course, my lord. I would ask the court to look at this. The evidence that clearly links Dr. Seiss to the mass murderer known as the Professor. Why, this autopsy report. I have here a certain autopsy report from 10 years ago. A 10-year-old autopsy report? What relevance does that have? It is, of course, from the autopsy of the person portrayed in the waxwork, the killer known as the Professor. Haha. The Professor's, but the man was a capital offender, so... That's right. This is the certification of death that was drawn up after the convict's execution. The identity of the killer was never made public, so the report gives few details. But what's important is the name of the coroner who wrote it. Courtney Stevens. Oh my! Courtney Stevens? Strike a light! It appears the Professor's autopsy was conducted by Dr. Scythe 10 years ago. And a few days ago, Mr. Drebber very deliberately stole the waxwork of the Professor from Madame Tuspel's. A waxwork that doesn't in fact resemble the victim, Mr. Asman, at all. And do you suppose there's some unsavory relationship between those events? Absolutely. I'm sure of it. There's no doubt in my mind that the Professor case is at the heart of a link that we have yet to uncover between between Dr. Courtney Scythe and Mr. Enoch Drebber. Hidden links, mysterious connections, secret relationships. This is all most extraordinary. Oh boy, we're surely obliged now to explore this further. I guess that's one way to get one. Quite right. We can't let this trial come to an end now. Not while there's this cloud of suspicion hanging over the yard's best coroner. It wasn't like this in my day, but we're still here to uphold justice in the end. Nice. We got two. Alright, let's see. We didn't finish pressing. Press this guy. I don't think the child is of any relevance. But you claimed the whole instantaneous kinesis demonstration was a trick. That I did, but there's more than one way to pull a rabbit out of a hat, isn't there? Sorry. I grant you, given that this cage appeared from amidst an explosion, there'd have been no need to use a real person. But if a waxwork had been used, the culprit could at least have had the decency to make it look like the victim. I'm not sure exactly how much criminals are governed by decency. The point is, if you're going to make a claim about that waxwork being inside the birdcage, you need to give us some evidence. Without that, it's just not science. I suppose we should expect nothing less than a logical argument from a fellow of the Royal Society. But that perhaps means his mind could be changed if we manage to present suitable evidence. Evidence that the Professor waxwork was inside that birdcage. Can I produce that or not? Do we have evidence? Oh yes, this! Yes, I have evidence. Actually, I have something I'd like you to see, sir. No. I must warn you that I firmly believe it's only wise to trust men in white coats. So given your jet black outfit, I don't mind admitting to a sense of trepidation here. So you don't trust anyone in black? Looking in the mirror must be very trying. I do have some evidence that proves the waxwork was inside that birdcage, namely... Voici. This little glass here. What's that? A piece of glass? Though it's unusually thick for glass. Yes, it's a piece of broken glass that we found inside the jacket of the waxwork. As you say, it's not ordinary glass, though. It's very thick and clearly made for extra strength. Much like the special glass that was developed for the construction of the Crystal Tower. The Crystal Tower? Holy smoke! Exactly. The centerpiece of the Great Exhibition, where the very incident we're talking about took place. On the day in question, the birdcage fell from above and smashed through a window of that special glass. And whence this small piece originated. Is that it? Precisely. So, what do you say? Now that clear evidence in support of the assertion has been placed before you. Yay! Well, as I said, I only trust men in white coats as a rule. However, when the reasoning is sound, it's fair to say color shouldn't come into it. In light of what you've shown me here, yes, I feel obliged to change my position on the matter. Yay! In that case, juror number 4, you will amend your statement now, please. Presence of that piece of glass leaves me in little doubt the waxwork was indeed inside that birdcage. Don't trust him much. Should I try this guy and the first guy? 'Cause I don't think it's this one. Should we try this? Sure. Nope. Alright. No, they're not. Well, Mr. Foreman, there's to be a new Herlock Sholmes adventure published next month by the looks. My lord, the foreman of the jury isn't listening. What are you, a child? Is that so? Well, I shall have to reserve myself a copy at the local newsagent in that case. Mrs. Otto, no one is listening to what I'm saying. Perhaps this would be a good opportunity to have a rethink then, Miss Naruto. Fear not, my learned friend. I heard every sorry word. Hey! Ugh, it sounds like I'm on the wrong track here. I'd better think again. Oh my gosh. Alright. That was funny. That was funny. But let me just save real quick. Okay. Did we press this guy? I don't remember if we pressed him. Yeah, we made it all the way. We pressed him, and then we accused him, pit him with the child. I was like, the child ain't gonna have no point in this, but okay, well then. That's my fault for saying the child would be unrelated. Those two statements clearly contradict each other. Good gracious! To whose statements do you refer, counsel? If you could put down your corn for a moment, juror number 5. Oh, you mean me? You've pointed out that it's wrong to make an accusation without evidence. The accusation that the waxwork model was inside the second birdcage on the day in question is not without supporting evidence, as the defense demonstrated to the juror sitting beside you. Ooh, is that right? Would it be fair to say you didn't follow the argument? I don't understand much besides Colonel Cobb, to be honest. Then why are you here? Of course you don't. I could interject here. Please do, sir. Now that this assertion of yours about the waxwork has been backed up by some solid evidence, it would be wrong of me as a man of science not to pursue the matter further. Yay! That's 3. And if we can just get the child, that'll be 4. Ah, well, me too then. Sorry? If this brainy gentleman says he's right, then he must be. See? I wouldn't dream of going against Colonel Cobb or anyone who's got stuff in between the ears. Oh, she did it with the corn. That's cool. Or kind of with the corn. Success! If you can call it that. It's okay. Success is success. Thank you, counsel. That will do. As a result of the summation examination, the jury's overall leaning has changed. 2 jurors now call guilty, against 4 who call not guilty. Accordingly, the court has failed to reach a consensus at this time, and the trial must continue. We did it! Oh, well done, Mr. Naruto. Another wonderful victory. Woohoo! A waxwork of the despicable professor. Used as a body double for the victim in this quite extraordinary case. I must say, it's extremely hard to believe the assertion could possibly be true. However, it would appear that it does at least warrant further investigation. It's the waxwork of the professor that links Mr. Drebber and Dr. Scythe. And I'm convinced that there's a special significance to that link. I don't know what you're hoping to prove, lad. I really don't. The truth, sir, by using evidence and testimony. If the court is to delve deeper into the alleged involvement of the waxwork in this case, then the prosecution calls for the owner of the model to be summoned as a witness. The owner? Madame Tuspels. Oh boy. I really thought that Lord Van Zeeks would object to this whole line of inquiry. Very well, I concur. Make arrangements for the Madame Tuspels to appear as a witness with immediate effect. Listen carefully, my learned friend. Oh, yes? You should know that you're on the brink of opening Pandora's box. What? Pandora's box? The court shall now adjourn for 45 minutes. During that time, the prosecution will summon the new witness and prepare her for taking the stand. Madame Tuspels, yes. I shall see to it at once, my lord. No boy. To be continued. Oh boy. Alright. I wonder what Madame Tusspaws is gonna expose in her testimony. Good thing about this is that our penalties get restored. We get a big, good reset. A much needed reset. Oh boy. Ah, the knight errant himself. Oh, have you been watching from the gallery, Mr. Sholmes? I've been on the edge of my seat the entire time. Courtroom trials are fascinating affairs, as a spectator at least. I'm glad you've been enjoying yourself. Ah, Albert. I have to ask. What on earth is going on? It makes no sense. What's this professor business all about? He doesn't look like any professor I've ever met before. Who even is he? Ah, of course. You were in Germany already 10 years ago. Yes, the professor. When I discovered he was the one who had been abducted, a sense of foreboding stirred within me. But who knew the monster would come knocking at your door? My heartfelt sympathies. Oh my gosh. As it turns out, Lord Von Zieks is even more intimately tied to this case than any of us realized, isn't he? Yes, how true. His great friend from university in the dock. And now a waxwork of the killer who took his esteemed brother's life makes an appearance, too. I imagine even the shrewd Mr. Reaper failed to foresee that kick in the teeth. An extraordinary move on your part, my dear fellow, to throw that in front of the man. You make it sound deliberate. I can't help feeling that this professor case is really very puzzling. Oh yes? In what particular manner? Well, there's Mr. Drebber, Dr. Scythe, and Lord Von Zieks. It seems that everybody in the trial has a link to the case somehow. Yes. In fact, I, alone, am not a member of the set. So that leaves me as an empty set, all alone with no intersection to any other. No! Excuse me? Oh. Oh boy. Dr. Scythe! Ah, Dr. Courtney Scythe. Nay, Stevens, good day to you. Hello, Sholmes. That was very shrewd of you. What in particular, pray? You requested that 10-year-old autopsy report from Gregson, didn't you? Why would you assume such a thing? Because Gregson told me. To think it's been 10 years. 10 years in the laboratory, wielding my scalpel. I smell of nothing but corpses and disinfectant. A policeman on the jury had a lot to say about you as it happens, Dr. Scythe. And I've accused you of being complicit in what happened. I'm hoping that you'll take the stand and tell the truth about what really happened. That certainly won't be possible. Oh? Lord Von Zieks won't be summoning me as a witness. Lord Strongheart has forbidden it. What? Lord Strongheart? The Pandora's box you were warned about is the professor case. But please don't make the mistake of thinking you'll get any information about it out of me. But attempting to hide from the truth, that's cowardice. Yeah, tell her, Sasato. I've always fought crime in the way that I see fit. I have no regrets, none at all. And that's all I came here to say. So, good day to you. Fishy, 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 fishy. She mentioned it too, this Pandora's box. Whatever does it all mean? There's really no cause for concern. I assure you, when the trial resumes, the meaning will become all too apparent, whether you'd like it to or not. Huh? Now then, I believe it's almost time. I must make my way back to the public gallery. Edge of my seat awaits! I think maybe you're enjoying yourself a little too much. Ah, yes. One word of warning before I go. If, in the course of the trial this afternoon, you perceive even a shadow of doubt about the truth, don't let it out of your sight. Pursue it like a dog with a bone. Oh. To the bitter end, you understand? Do not falter, whatever may come to pass. The heck? That was wise of him. And also a little suspicious. Alright, I understand. Thank you. Good. I shall make myself scarce, then. I purchased a bar of caramel earlier. So I shall be gnawing on that as you gnaw away at the truth. Oh, Sholmes. What did that warning from Mr. Sholmes really mean, I wonder? Especially the bit about whatever may come to pass. I don't know, but it can't be anything good. It's time for the final chapter, then. I'm determined to find the truth. No matter what. No, boy. I don't like the little cuts like that keep happening. Clearly something big is going to happen at the end of this case. In the name of Her Majesty the Queen, I hereby reconvene the proceedings of this court. Counsels for the defense and prosecution, are you ready and able to continue? Prosecution is ready, my lord. Yes, my lord. The defense is also ready. As the court is aware, the case under our scrutiny began with a damaging incident at the Great Exhibition. Yet we now find ourselves embroiled in the details of a convicted felon who was sent to the gallows a decade ago. This trial has certainly defied all expectation. Seems to be the fate of all trials in which this Nipponese is involved, my lord. I'm gonna take that as a compliment. So then, let us begin our exploration of the defense's assertion that the waxwork was cardinally involved in this matter. Lord von Zieks, my lord, are we still awaiting the arrival of Madame Tuspels? Not at all. She is in the antechamber as we speak and ready to be summoned. Very well. Bring in the witness. At once, my lord. Bailiff, show Madame Tuspels to the stand. Oh hey, that's new. Things are about to become a lot more intense. If Drebber is responsible, as I'm sure he is, it means he must have had an accomplice in Dr. Scythe. And what connects the pair of them is the waxwork. Yes, the model of the professor. That's the key to the link between these otherwise unrelated individuals. It's a tenuous link, admittedly, but at present it's all we have to go on. Oh boy. What the... Oh man, why can't anybody just stand normally at the witness stand? Why do they all have to be doing something? Man. Alright. State your name and occupation for the court, please. My name is Madame Esmeralda Tuspels. I am a waxwork artisan, and the proprietress of the Madame Tuspels Museum of Waxwork. You will have to pardon me for working as I testify. My new exhibit must open very soon. Oh, so he finally gets a statue, does he? Now there are two of them in the world. Wait, is that Sholmes? I didn't even notice. Oh my, what expression is she carving onto that face? No, man. A number of days ago, a particular waxwork model was stolen from your museum. Can you confirm this? It is him. I didn't even notice it is Sholmes. Oh boy. I have to wonder what exhibit she's gonna make of him. Oi, that is true. At first, we believed it had been kidnapped. A waxwork model? Kidnapped? Yes, my lord. There was a demand for ransom money left behind by the culprit. However, according to what I've just been told outside the courtroom, that was not the true reason. I understand it was utilized as a substitute for the body of a murder victim. At present, that is no more than conjecture proposed by the defense. This is the victim of the case in question, Mr. Audi Osman. But of course, I know him well. He is a part of my odious personages exhibit. I detest to say what is evident, but Mr. Asman does not resemble the professor at all. Yes, but perhaps their faces are very similar. Are you suggesting that we should see now the demasked visage of the professor? I have here the key, but it is strictly forbidden to open the lock.
This is absurd.
Pardon? I don't know what force you've carved onto your fancy figure beneath that mask. But clearly, it won't be that of the actual killer. Indeed. Man's identity was never made public, after all. Trial took place in a closed court. Proceedings were strictly confidential. The condemned man was summarily executed. His identity remains a closely guarded national secret. There is no possible way that a repository of tawdry exhibits could get its hands on that information. Quel dommage. It would seem you are unaware of the Tuspel's principles.
What principles?
The family Tuspels has always prided itself on sculpting its models à la perfection. Every detail, including the visage, is fashioned with complete fidelity. Et voila our principles. There is a well-known legend about the Tuspel's waxworks from the time of the French Revolution. A member of the Tuspel's family is said to have made a waxwork of the queen who was executed. Oui, that is true. It was a century ago now. I believe the queen's face was carved in the minutes following her death, actually at the guillotine site. You are correct. The model on display still today in the House of Horrors. We Tuspels will stop at nothing to obtain a faithful replica of our subjects. Dear me, a somewhat disturbing tenacity of purpose. It is the only way to obtain a truly lifelike representation of the subject. And it has been my family's secret for generations.
Do you mean to say that beneath that mask...
Oui, the true visage of the killer is there.
This is ludicrous. It's out of the question.
The professor spread terror throughout Great Britain. As a result, the Madame Tuspel's special exhibit remains extremely popular, even today. The killer emerging from his own grave. It is a sight to behold. You should come.
No thank you. Well, actually we saw it already, but still.
I think, Madame, it would be beneficial to hear your formal testimony on this matter. You will explain every detail of this macabre model, and your personal involvement in its creation. With pleasure.
Oh boy.
The special exhibit in the House of Horrors is based on a rumor that shocked society in London. An impression of the visage was taken directly from the corpse, in accordance with the Tuspel's family principles. I enlisted the aid of the gravedigger and created a mold for the head in the cemetery just before the interment. I hid myself until he gave me a signal. I was there for a very long time that night. As dawn approached, I was very worried that I could be discovered.
Wait. Does that mean, what's his face? Saw her? Drebber? Is that who he saw?
Gravedigger, the man sanctioned this. Oui, I will do all that is necessary to achieve the true resemblance my family is celebrated for. Nobody else knew. Only the gravedigger. What harm did it do, huh?
So you truly saw it. The face of that monster.
Naturally, I was aware at the time that his identity was a secret. But Tuspels would not be Tuspels if we did not insist on absolute fidelity to our sculptures.
I don't believe this.
I myself have seen the special exhibit at your museum, Madame. A truly blood-curdling scene, in which the murderer is emerging from his own grave. The scene it depicts was the subject of many rumors in London 10 years ago. I have here a newspaper from the time.
Oh dang.
The special exhibit was pasted upon the picture in this article. It was the most detailed account of what happened, as reported by the eyewitnesses who saw it.
Oh, cool. I mean, I guess not cool, but good that we've got the article now. Man rises from the gravel. It's too absurd for words. Of course he would think that. Have some imagination, dude.
The public enjoy absurdity, monsieur.
That is why I have reproduced the scene as carefully as possible in my museum. And it's a waxwork from that exhibit that was stolen some days before the incident at the Great Exhibition, wasn't it? That is correct. The professor you see before you here. Most puzzling. Counsel for the defense, proceed with the cross-examination. This waxwork links Drebber to Dr. Scythe, and there has to be some reason for that which hasn't yet come to light. But I'll find it. I'll get to the bottom of what really happened. I'll prove that Dr. Scythe and Drebber were in on this crime together. Alright, we'll prove it next time. Oh boy. Oh boy, I can't even begin to think where this could lead. Are we gonna actually see the face or not? I wonder. Alright, guess we'll find it next time. Alright guys, that's gonna be it for this one. Hope you guys are having an amazing day, and I'll see you in the next one, where we get further to the truth. Alright guys, see you later.